In retaliation, Iran resolutely launched a large number of drones, ballistic missiles, and cruise missiles at Israel. So what is the situation of this battle? It can be described as a huge momentum, but the raindrops are pitifully small. In just 2 hours, the battle was over. It was even far less intense than the 5,000 rockets fired by Hamas at the opening stage. But in any case, this is also an operation of Iran's real end. The strike was roughly divided into 2 waves, starting with about 100 drones, which were intercepted almost all outside Israel before they even reached Israel. The second wave, which involved hundreds of drones and a large number of ballistic and cruise missiles, was not able to withstand all of Israel's offensive, and the air defense system was frantically alarmed. And hundreds of large and small explosions were said to have erupted in Israel. Common sense would suggest that Iran has deployed between 400 and 600 drones and 400 to 600 missiles, although its firepower output is average. It is always more generous than the Russian army in the early stage of the Russian-Ukrainian war. Now that Iran has shown its sword to Israel, how will Israel respond? There is basically no second option for retaliation. A large number of Israeli fighter jets are already urgently mobilizing, and it may not be long before news of Israeli airstrikes arrives. At present, Israel has more than 200 F-16s, more than 50 F-15s, and more than 70 F-35s. It must be these models that will make trouble in the future, but there's a problem. Israel and Iran are both 100 kilometers away in a straight line, with Jordan, Iraq, and the Persian Gulf in between. If Israel wants to strike Iran, it needs permission from other countries. There are roughly 3 routes to choose from, one of which requires going north through Turkey. But Turkey and Israel have never had a good relationship, and the chances of choosing this route are slim. Another is to go south through Saudi Arabia, and the possibility of this route still exists. The last route is to cross the Persian Gulf in a straight line through Jordan and Iraq. And Jordan can just nod and let go, which is the shortest distance, the easiest communication, and the most likely. So, where will Israel bomb? There are 3 possibilities. One is civilians, the second is military bases, and the third is specific facilities. If a specific facility is bombed, then Israel and Iran will become the next Russia and Ukraine, and the situation in the Middle East will become tense in an instant. What awaits Iran next will be a frantic Israeli counterattack. Iran and Israel are more than 1,000 kilometers apart in a straight line, separated by Jordan, Iraq, the Persian Gulf and Egypt. Israel can retaliate only by sending its Air Force and F-35, F-16 and F-15 for targeted bombing. If Israel were to launch a large number of F-35s on a dark and windy night, would Iran be able to intercept them? The probability of successful interception is extremely low. At present, Iran's air defense system is mainly the S-300 imported from the Russian army and the self-developed Bava R-373 air defense system. The S-300 has been proven on the battlefield of Russia and Ukraine, and has not shot down a single plane or intercepted a single missile on the battlefield. And its impact on the war situation is almost negligible. Iran has also provided assistance to the Russian army with Bava R-373 air defense systems, but there have been no reports of downed warplanes and interceptor missiles with the cover of night and the excellent stealth skills of the F-35. Iran's air defense system will most likely be difficult to effectively intercept, coupled with the fact that Iran's air force is extremely weak. Its main fighters, the MiG-29 and F-14 Panda, have no chance of winning against the F-35. That is, if Israel launches a night raid, the end result is nothing more than the bombing of civilians, military bases, or specific facilities. Similarly, if Iran retaliates, the army will be basically useless, and the air force will not be strong. so it will have to use drones and missiles in this retaliation. The performance of the drone has been verified. The first 100 drones have not yet reached Israel, and there are very few interceptions left outside the border. Israel will certainly further strengthen the deployment of air defense systems, which will be easily intercepted unless Iran comes up with thousands of drones for saturation attacks. The pressure is then shifting to Iran's ballistic and cruise missiles. Iran's most famous is the Fateh hypersonic missile, which can reach a maximum flight speed of Mach 15. After the outbreak of the Palestinian-Israeli conflict, the USS-4 drove directly over, and the Fateh hypersonic missile still has a certain deterrent effect. However, it has never experienced actual combat, and whether it is a godlike existence or will fall from the altar, I believe it will not be long before it will give an answer.